Okay, so thank you for welcoming us in your company.
You're very welcome.
Can you explain us what you do?
Yes, we have a company. It's called Blue Earth Innovations. We started it 9 years ago, not because we wanted to start a company, but because we see things need to be done. So that's very important. That's why we started. It all started with Frank. He's an inventor. And he did an invention. He made a motor on water. Frank, maybe you can tell a little bit about it.
Sure. Yeah. So actually I made my own fuel, let's say, because water is hydrogen and oxygen, and when you send a rocket into space, you need hydrogen and oxygen. So I think, my God, water is fuel. You can put the, how would you say it, put the fire on, but you can also put the fire out with it. Huh? So I went with that, and I ended up with an engine that uses 95% tap water and 5% biomethanol or gasoline. So actually I made my own fuel, let's so say, yeah.
So you produce electricity with your system?
Unfortunately not, no. No, and that's the stupid thing about this, this whole thing, because you can make it, but because it's so threatening for companies that we had also some engagements with those kind of people or those kind of systems.
So you can have an engine working with this fuel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, correct. But you have to do it under the So that's not very how you say it. It's very difficult, to get it on the market or to get it, somewhere, because everybody's saying like, where's the guarantee? Where's this? Where's that? And you cannot do it like that. It's just not possible, because you have no certificates. You have no, the authorities are not working with it. So. But anyway, we learned a lot of it. That's the whole point, because I've learned to inform water on a very special way, what we're using actually now for our products. And it wasn't that I was curious about it, so I wasn't looking at it for it, but I just stumbled upon something like that, And that's how things work, and that's how inventions work all the time. You're not actually inventing stuff, but you're discovering actually how the world really works. And that's totally different than what we learned. Totally. So.
And how did you come to this idea to inform water?
Well, the thing is that, so when you have, for example, water gas, so it's HHO, they call it, you can inform that on a very special way. So it's like Dr. Emoto showed it already, in images, that water can take information from it. So I've learned that when I was using this information, I could have more explosion or less explosion using this information. So that was my learning lesson. Oh, this is how it works, So I went from that point on, I went further and further. And I came to the conclusion that actually this world works only with information. It's an informative world. It's not, it's not like we think it is. It's not. It's only information, and then you have manifestation from this information, and that's what we're looking at. But before the manifestation starts, you can do already things. So after the manifestation, it's totally different, So you can use this information to change actually the whole outcome. Mm-hmm. And
If you look at everything, you see, like Frank says, material stuff, physical stuff, But this is only a very, very small part. This is like 0.0001, something like that. And then what is left? They say it is emptiness, but it's not empty. It's filled with energy. And this energy is information. So lots of people are looking always at physical things. I try to, like this, and looking at it and how can I change it? How can I change it? But if you know that 99% and more is energy and information, you can work with that. And then the material world is changing with that. And that is what we are doing. And we found it actually by looking, observing, and building, lots of experiences we did, and then seeing. And actually we found that a lot can be found in nature. You can see it in nature, everything. Actually. Yeah. Yes.
So it's it's amazing that I built from scratch, so I can think about something and I can move this in my head, then I build it. So I cannot make a picture or stuff like that. I cannot draw this. I just start, and then when I start today, tomorrow it's finished, and then we've learned something, and from that point on you move on, and it goes so fast because I'm accepting what I'm seeing. A lot of people, they don't accept what they see. They say, no, that's different. It's not possible. What is not possible? You saw it, so it's possible. What is going on, So that's the whole thing, that most of the people, they're just stuck in their whole idea of this, But just an idea. We can make anything we like. We can do anything we like, That's the most beautiful part of this whole matrix stuff, So why not do it then, So I'm a guy that uses intuition, and from that point on, moving on. So when I build something, I just have to go like, here do I have to cut it, Don't ask me why, because this cannot understand it, but this can. That's the whole idea. And that's why actually we move so fast and we make beautiful things. So,
Yeah. What I find as we are talking, that Frank is making and I'm feeling. Frank is also feeling a lot of things, and like he says, building from his intuition. And I think what I like to explain, what is water actually? Water is the source of our whole life. Water is the source of everything. Water is number one if you look at the chemical part elements, elementary table, number one. Why is it on number one? Because everything that exists, there's water in it. So it's very, very important. So what if we help this water to go back to its original source, energy? So that's not only a physical thing, but that's also an emotional thing. So it's about love, bringing back into the water. It's about life energy, bringing back into the water. Because why? We are humans, and everything which is alive, our animals, our plants, our stones, everything is filled with life energy. And we as humans, we have forgotten that, how strong our life energy can be. And the water actually reminds us of it. It's trying to help us, but we've polluted it so much, so we need to help Mother Earth a little bit. That's what we feel. So if we help our water to go back to its original source, we found that the water is very happy about it. It says, finally, I'm going back to what I am. I'm going back to doing what I'm here for, to give us a lot of energy. And if we have a lot of energy, we know who we are. We feel we have a mission here on Earth, and we start to do it. And if we feel healthy, you have energy to do it. So, and I think then everything falls in place. Everybody is going to do what he came here for. And that's what we are doing with the systems we're making, bringing back the original energy into the water. And if somebody drinks it, or maybe only the water is close, it already starts to change. So what we like to do actually is a silent revolution, bringing all this good water to everybody. And the more we make, the more it's going everywhere. And of course, this sounds maybe a little bit, but it's also very practical. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of, on the last 9 years that we work together. And we also are living together, how you call it? Yeah.
Very happy.
Every time there's a new thing coming. So we started, Frank started with the motor. With that, we found out, we can inform water. We had to learn it. We We made mistakes also. No, it's not good.
No.
In the start.
No.
But the mistakes were no mistakes.
No, there were no mistakes. No, that's the whole point. You know, most of the people they don't even try to do something. You know, because they say, well, I can make a mistake. Well, then you learn something. You know, so it's not a mistake. That's the whole point of it, huh? Yeah. You know, I like to make a lot of mistakes, because I like to learn very much, a lot of things. And this is actually the whole thing. When we're moving on, so I didn't know how to make this stuff, so how it looks now. But I knew what it's going to be, what it is. That it does, So we can make systems to clean water from chemicals, so no chemicals. But we don't use a filter. It's only information. So we can take out the information of the chemicals and we put new information in, and that's about love and gratitude. That's actually what we need. But then the chemical residue, they disappear. So we did it for many years now. We built systems, big, small, all kinds of. And we sent the water to laboratories. And we get the results back. And that's actually phenomenal that it happens. But if you want to go to that point that you learn how to do this, you have to make steps, baby steps. Because otherwise, if you miss something, you don't know how it works. If I do something and directly I have the system that works, I don't know how it works. So if I make a mistake then, or if I make something different, then it doesn't work, then I don't know. Mm-hmm. So that's why I made a lot of things. I can fill this room from all the kinds of systems that I made just doing. And that's also a nice thing to say is it has everything to do with yourself. It's like that you reinvented yourself, learning who you really are. So if you have a problem with the system, you have to look at it. But you have to look inside you, to understand, is there something that I miss? What do I miss, And then take sometimes days, sometimes hours. You have to learn something, so you let it be, just let it be. And then there comes something along, and then you say, that was it. Yeah. And then you go further. So it's a wonderful process. Yeah.
So you explained that you can depollute water just if I can say so, just in sending information to it.
Right. Yes.
Even the huge quantities of water?
Yes. We are now in the process of making a 20,000 liters a system that does 20,000 liters per day. So that's a lot of water. But we can make it even bigger and bigger for a whole city, for instance. So that's no problem. And the things about it is because we don't use, we use filters for the big parts, so until 1 micron. So then you have the parts that are floating around. Yeah, that's what we take away with the filter. But after that, you have chemicals. They are smaller than 1 micron. Yeah? So, but we have clear water. So then we are going to, how do you say it?
Treat the water.
Yeah, treat the water. And we do that with, I don't see it here, but...
Vitalizing?
Vitalizing. So we do that with vitalizers, and the vitalizers is going like, when it comes the water in, it circles left to the left, yeah? And then it circles to the right. And that's a very important lesson what I've learned, namely putting the water on the left side, so then it circles left, it gets information out. And when it circles right, you get information in. And that's a very important lesson. But you want to say something?
And that's not the only thing, because with only circling, it doesn't work. You need something more. You need something more. It is very important. Going to the left is information out. Going to the right is bringing information in. But before that, we found, like I said, informing water, changing the energy of the water. We found that if I have a water here, which is pure and which is in its original source, and if I take another water here, the other water will change because of this water, only by being in the direction already. And if I do something more, like Frank says, let it go turning around, it goes quicker. And then we found out something else, that the form of the egg is very important. What is the egg? The egg is also the source of life, where life comes from. When a child is in the womb of the mother, it's also an egg form. All the birds, they also have eggs. But if you look at the energy field of everything, of a human, of a plant, of an animal, it has an egg form energy field. So the egg is a very, very important symbol, and not only a symbol, it's much more than that. So you can use it to help, because it's protecting life, and it's love can grow in it, life can grow into it. So we found if we take this good water, we put it in an egg, then it starts to have a huge field of energy. And the beautiful thing about it is that we found a method to make this water stable. That means, of course, anybody can treat water. I can put the word love on it. I can play beautiful music. The water will immediately change because of that. But then, after some time, it goes away. We found a method so that it's so filled with this love and gratitude and actually the energy of the soul, our original source, that it's by repeating actually. Repeating is also a very important energy, repeating. Like you can repeat a prayer, but you can also repeat the energy, putting in, putting in, putting in, putting in. And then there comes a moment that it is filled, that it is ready. And then it stays like that. Mm-hmm. And that is stable water. And this stable water, put it in the egg, goes like this. And you can use it for a lot of good things to help all the waters in the world to change back to its source.
So what we did is, first we make special water. We call it elixir water. We have it in a bottle. And then we put the water in an egg. Yeah? So in an empty egg. Because of the form of the egg, it gets a huge informant field, very powerful. Then we put this egg into a revitalizer. Yeah? And then the water will circle around this egg, left and then right. And if you do it once, so if you, for example, put a revitalizer into a building and the water comes out one time, you have 90% of the negative information already is gone.
In 5 seconds.
Yes, approximately 5 seconds. So that's very fast. Yeah. And the nice part about it is you don't need a filter. So it doesn't use energy. You buy it once and that's it. So, and that's very powerful, you know. Mm-hmm. So, but if you treat it longer, so if you treat it like more times through the vitalizer, do the same thing, then the last 10% of the information will be gone too. And then the laboratorium says there are no classifieds, there are no medicine parts, there are no PFAS, etc. It's all gone. So when it goes one time, you can find the chemicals. If you do it a couple of times, then it's totally gone. But we live in an information world, you know. So if I put 90% of the information out, what does my system see? You know? So it's like, for example, it's like a computer program. If I have a laptop with a program, software program, there's a game, for instance, and I take 90% of the software away, is the game still running? No. It stops. This is exactly how we work, you know. We just take the software, the information, we take that, and our system, our quantum physical system, says, okay, I'm going to see what the information brings me. So I'm going to work with that. But if 90% of the negative information is not there anymore, the system says, I cannot work with that information. So it's totally not there, actually. So you solve the problem with this simple thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so...
Mm-hmm. And you can remove any chemical or even bacteria? Or
Yeah, well, bacteria not, because that's natural. All bacteria actually are in the field. So if you see it like that, like the world has also a layer of hardware, let's say hardware. So that's the basic program, let's say it, you know. And on that basic program, I, the man, can program something different on that basic program. You know, it's like, again, like the laptop, you have a basic program. And I'm here and I'm doing stuff, you know, I'm writing stuff, I'm making a movie or something like that, doesn't matter. But there's a button on the laptop that says, going back to the beginning, to the where the factory says, okay, this is the basic program. Now we found that button. Mm-hmm. We found that one. So everything goes back and you can't find any trace anymore of anything that has been there. So, you know.
To add something to it in a simple way is, of course, in nature there are chemicals. But what the man made is make combinations of it, which are very bad for the nature. And these are the things which go away. That's what we see. It's not that we invented that, but we saw with all the things we did, hey, the man-made things are gone. They are going down, 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 down. The natural chemical elements, they are still there, but they go to like a harmonious, I don't know the word for it. They come in a harmony. They are still there, but in the way that we need it. And we saw also, if you look, like if you go to the North Pole and you dive deep into it and take a water sample, you, for instance, ice, that's not water, that's ice. That's first ice. Yeah. You melt it, you measure it. For instance, you see there's a lot of magnesium in it. And there's also a lot of calcium in it. And that is one of the things we also see if we treat our water. Magnesium is getting more, calcium is getting more. So actually, you don't have to push a button. You don't have to turn. I want this, I want that. No, I think what we do is we invite the water to go back. And we've learned that softness is very important with that. So you don't push the water. You invite it. And you say, here is love. Take whatever you need. And then it just takes what it needs. And that's the same with this elixir water. If some people drink it, we also see it. It goes through the parts in the body which are weak. So it just gives energy to where we need it. And I like that a lot, because we humans, we always think we know. We know what to do, but no, just try to listen and follow. And then there's also this part, if we have enough life energy, we can handle everything much better. Even if we have eaten something with polluted stuff, I don't say do it, but it will happen in this world. Huh? But you can handle it better, much, much better.
Okay, so let's talk about your special eggs full of love and energy. So they are real eggs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you explain?
Yes, we use an œuf d'écaille. We use a duck's egg and an ostrich egg. And we started off with the duck eggs. Why? Because we have lived in a community in Belgium for 8 years. And we just had these lovely ducks there. And they're walking around there, and they have a lot of space because there's a lot big wood and a lot of fields and a lot of water there in a beautiful area. And so they're running around there, and in the evening they come back to a little stable and they sleep there. And these eggs we take, we make a little hole in it. We make them empty. Yes. We make them clean. And then we fill them with our elixir water. And then we close it off with a piece of a shell from the egg. And then, of course, the water will run out if you don't do anything, because it goes through it after some time. Yeah. After 2 days or 3 days, it starts to go out of it. So we put something around it. How you call it in English, Frank?
Epoxy.
Epoxy.
Yes.
Just a little layer to make sure you can't crack it anymore. And to make sure the water cannot go out of it. And then we make several kind of eggs. So we have one egg, is the Vita Earth. It's especially made for the earth, of course, for the agriculture. Because some people started to ask us if we can make something like that, and we did that. And in a lot of research we did with it. Also, for the agriculture, people who are really doing a lot of things.
They put the eggs in the fields, or?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
You put them under the earth.
Sorry?
Yes.
Yeah, so we make a pentagram. Yeah. So we need 5 eggs, actually, in a pentagram. And then you have 1 hectare you can do with it. So what is it, 1,000 meters? Or no,
yes,
100 meters,
yes.
yeah. So, and that's very powerful. Yeah. So when you have 1 earth, you can put it in the ground around 60 centimeters, so it doesn't get frozen, because otherwise it breaks, because of the water, of course. And then you use it for your own garden, something like that, And then you have 22 meters around the egg, around something, you have an energy field. But if you put 5 of them in a perfect pentagram situation, then this will get out of proportion. Then it's amazing. Then you have a very big field.
It's working on all the farm.
Yeah.
So we did some investigations, of course, about wheat and about potatoes and onions. Yeah, and we had something like 30-35% more of the onions and potatoes, and also the potatoes. That was really strange because normally potatoes here you put them out of the ground in October. Now it was half September. And still we had potatoes 40 till 70 millimeters. And that's really great, yeah.
So when you're talking about a pentagram, you are in sacred geometry.
Mm-hmm. Right,
Yes.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, sacred geometry is actually, those are the rules of the game, huh? So So secret geometry is the energy field, is the information, is everything actually.
It's the language of the universe.
Yeah. So that's logical that you then work with that, because those are the rules, the universal rules, let's say,
And do you, for example, study the electromagnetic lines like a Curie network or Hartmann or?
Sometimes.
Or it does not work, or there is no?
Well, the thing we noticed that actually if we use this kind of energy, what we're using now, it's not so important anymore. Actually, where the Curie lines are, it's like, you make your own system actually. So
But sometimes we work together with other people who can measure that, and then they say, okay, you put the egg there and there. So you can do that. So we've done that, but like Frank says, sometimes it doesn't matter anymore. What I also like to say is the earth eggs, when we started with them 8 years ago, something like that, we found they work in 20 meters. But now we did new research, and they are now working on I think 50 or 60 meters. So it changed, and we've seen that with all our products, that they're working better and better and better. And we think that is because of everything is made of the same energy. So it is a field of one energy, of gratitude, of love. And of course, if you make more and more and more and more, this energy rises. So it is very interesting to see that.
And in the pentagram, you put eggs the size, the one behind you?
Yeah.
Yes, this one. So
No,
you have
the smaller ones, like this.
With the color.
The green blue.
Okay. So
That one.
for 1 hectare, so 10,000 square meters, only 5 small eggs are enough
Yes.
to produce the result you're
Yes.
looking for.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
And this one, the big one, how do you use it?
Well, this is for the home. Yeah. So well, this is for the household, for the house, and we got a lot of response from the people. Beautiful stories we have. For instance, there was a wife, and she lived in the neighborhood where lots of problems. At least once a week, there were police and stuff like that. Always there. Aggression, that. And so the egg came in by her, You know, she put it in.
This one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
She put it on the table, and she totally noticed that, hey, there's something different now. You know, it's completely different.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
she had a problem with sleeping for years. And she, after 3 weeks,
Yeah.
she called us up. She said, I have to talk to you now because I can sleep again. So that was her first thing. And then she said, also, it's easier, there was no aggression that happened in these 3 weeks, nothing. So she was like, So, and a few months later, she called me up again. She said, it's still working. She said, there might have happened something, but really, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. No. Also, the sleeping was still very good. I'm still in contact with her. She's also selling the eggs now because she's so enthusiastic about it. And so what we see,
and also with a teacher, huh? Because that's also a very nice story. You know, there was a teacher and a woman teacher, and so she bought the small egg, yeah, and then she put it in a bag, yeah, to take with her to the school. But then she didn't show it to the children. She wanted just to observe how is it with or without, and she noticed there was a totally different story. You know, with the egg, there was more concentration, you know, less problems, stuff like that. So the kids, they were totally different. As if, and if the egg was not there, there was more problems, more stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and we heard those stories so often now. Yeah. It's amazing. It's like once, twice a week, people call us up and say like, "Why? I just have to tell you this, or that, or that." It's amazing what happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
The size of this one is for a big apartment or a big house, or
for a house, for a whole house. Yes, it goes through the walls as well. It goes really through walls. I also have one story to that.
A duck egg would be enough for a flat, for example.
Yes, for a smaller space, but for a flat as well.
In an office or
yes.
You use it in office too.
In what?
In office.
In office, yes, of course. In office, also people who work with therapy, they use it a lot. That let the people hold the egg, because it also, you can feel it very strongly if you hold it. And but also for the harmony and energy. And I must say, first, of course, we didn't fully understand what we made. And I think maybe we still do not know. We still do not know. But we're still learning. But what I understand now, what I've seen happening, and also with pictures, actually, we can show you that. Maybe you can show them on the video as well. Of course, our energy field is an egg form. So what it does with this beautiful energy, because we are water too. So it starts to do something with us. Hey, where are you? Take in your space. Take in your space. That is what it does. So I noticed because of that, we saw that on a picture, that the energy field was starting to go back to its original space. Size. Yeah. Original size, that's it. Yeah. So I'm like, now I understand what it is. Yeah.
And you can lay it anywhere in the apartment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think the people they learn themselves actually where to put it. Just they feel it. They feel it. Yeah, a lot of people do that. And what I also like to say is that we get some skeptical people here, of course. Of course. They say, it's old. It's
impossible.
Talking about, But a lot of those people, they change. We see them change. Yeah. And that's amazing. And the reasons are not always the same. The one is starting to feel something, but the other one looks at the results of the laboratorium results and they say, well, the data is here, so I cannot say it's not working, because it works, because and
but
then
you feel it also.
No, okay, but the thing is that we saw a lot of people, they needed that data to understand that there's something different. And then slowly they open themselves and they're letting the information in. So we have some people, they were the best skeptical people that you can ever have, and now they're walking around with those small eggs, in their pants, it's like, oh, it works, it's beautiful to see, really. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Huh?
And when you put your egg into your apartment, does it influence also your water?
Yeah.
Does it improve it or?
Yes. The thing is that the energy field is very strong, and everything changes. We have, for example, a story that was just in the beginning, actually. So we made the elixir water, and we didn't fully understand actually what we made. But a lot of people came to us and said, "Well, it works. It's fantastic." Okay, so now we learned about a man in Tel Aviv. He had a lab. And he had some equipment to measure actually how strong the information is in the water, right? So it's a computer system, and he made that. And so we sent him a bottle of elixir water, and then he came back to us with two things. He said, first of all, don't send me ever your water again. I don't want to have it. Yeah?
Why?
Okay, well, that was the first one. The second one was, this is the solution. You have to move on with this, And we didn't fully understand those because, what are you talking about? First, you said, I don't want it anymore, and then you say the solution. But the thing is, it was very easy, actually, to understand because he had a water lab. So we had samples of water everywhere. And this water came in, and totally changes all the water he had in the lab. Okay. So we could start all over again. And that was not nice. I couldn't understand. You had to phone, hey, you send me another bottle of water.
You ruined his stock of water.
Yeah. Yes. So that's why he said it. But the second thing, what now we understand is this is the solution. Because I can send this water to Japan and exactly the same thing works. I can make stuff now and can have a guarantee on it. This works always, all the time.
Yes, wherever the country, wherever the part of the.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter also the situation. For instance, if you have 1,000 people who looked at the water and say, I hate the water, I hate it, water is getting the information in. This one doesn't. It says
it's sending out.
It's sending out that information. It's
sending out love information.
Yeah, actually, love and gratitude. Yeah. Now the thing is that so this is actually very important to understand, because a couple of years ago we said to somebody who is working with the Bovis scale, and because we measure the water all the time, but we don't do it ourselves, because that's very important. So always do something. Somebody else has to do it. Yeah, and so this person, we said, okay, we have here the oldest egg, what we made. Yeah, just measure with this egg and let's see how it is going down. But it didn't go down; it went up in Bovis scale. And that was very odd because that was new for us and also for him. So we investigated it. And now is the situation that the more eggs and the more water we make, the stronger actually the eggs everywhere picks up the information and goes exactly in the same direction.
Mm-hmm. You mean they interact between them?
Exactly. So again, quantum physics talks about that too, entanglement, we call it. And so everything is bound to each other. And we have a system, we made that same water in the same system. So every water that has been there in that same system has a connection with everything else. So the field is growing and growing and growing. So now we have a totally different guarantee situation. we have to guarantee that we make more eggs. Not less. The better the situation is,
And there is no time limit of the efficiency of the egg?
It is directly. It moves faster than light.
And it can last for years or decades?
I don't know. We don't know. It's like what we see now. The oldest egg is now, how old is it?
9 years.
9 years?
9 years.
Yeah. And that egg has now exactly the same Bovis value that what comes out now from the factory.
This is one of the older eggs which is standing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
So you have no example of an egg stopping its contribution to...
No, not once. No. Also with the system what we made, so we made the water, the water cleaning system, it works from day one, but it gets stronger all the time. Mm-hmm. So that's amazing. So when the people have a vitalizer, for instance, they install it, it's not getting less, it's getting always more. It goes up instead of down. Well, that's the best thing you can have, huh?
And that's also our goal. Because we really like to make things which have a long life. Yeah. We don't want to go with this idea of consuming all the time. Oh, it's broken, throw it away. No. Try to look and change one part of it, and it works again. Yeah. So I think we really need to feel responsible for our earth. And that's what we really try to do our best to do this. Yeah. And we are managing quite well, I must say.
Well, now we have the system, the Pure Blue Mini, for instance. That's a system that makes a lot of water. And this system has parts in it. And those parts you can exchange. Yeah. So when a part breaks down, you don't throw the thing away. You just exchange that part.
Okay.
So
to finish, can you share another extraordinary experiment or advice you received?
We have so many. We have so much. What comes to your mind?
Yes, that shows there is something.
Oh, I'm just not coming to it right now. Wait. This is stupid.
One of your clients who had also a wonderful experience.
Oh, I have one. That was a father.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I installed a vitalizer by his son. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And he has children. So he is a grandfather, and he talked to his son. He said, this is bullshit. It cannot work. This is humbug. This is nonsense. What are you doing? So okay. Now there came a time that he had to look after the children of his son, and he took a bath. Yeah, he went to take a bath, and he came downstairs with tears. And the son came in and he saw his father. What's the matter with you? Tears all over. He said, I had just had a bath. And it was just like I was back in the womb. And that was totally different. So now he has a vitalizer. And that was one of the most skeptical people we had. He was so full of that we were scamming the whole thing, something like that. So that was beautiful.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories. I'm just remembering one which also touched me. This is about one of the health products we make. We don't make much products, but the ones we make, we want to make really good. So we make a curcumin water, and this curcumin is normally hydrophobe, but we make it that it is again really in the water. I don't know the word for it. Water dissolved. And so there was one man, you visit him, there was also a son, and he could not walk anymore.
Well, almost.
He could not eat anything. He was so, in the time of 2-3 years, he had gone from a healthy young man to really bad because of the corona vaccine. It happened to him. And he started to use the curcumin water, which we make especially for that, the curcubron. And Frank came there. He didn't know anything about it. And
well, they had some questions about the Mini, the system that we install in the houses. They had some questions, and well, I was sitting there, you know, and they were looking at me really funny. It was like, my God, there he is, you know. I was like, what? I'm not a celebrity or something, you know. I'm just a normal man. Or what's going on? Yeah. And so there was something very odd, something very strange. Now the son came in, you know, and he looked at me, and he said, "This is the guy." And he looks, "Oh my God, you are the yes!" Now what happened actually? This son, he was so bad shape. It was really terrible. And he was really going through that wheelchair, you know. He was on it, yeah. And he had the curcubron 1 week, and everything was gone. He was healthy again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
It gets to me every time, you know. Yeah, that was really amazing. Yeah.
Thank you for everything.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you for this interview with you. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
For us also. Thank you.